I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not happy about my performance. I won the fight, but it's like to make a similarity. It's like a sprinter, 100-meter sprinter who's world champion. He sprint, he win the 100-meter, let's say in 10 seconds, and if in a few months later he have another race, he win again the race, but he win in 10 seconds still. So he won't be happy. He's still world champion, but he haven't beat his time. It's a little bit the same thing that happened to me tonight. I won, but I haven't beat my performance of last time. So I'm not happy. I wanted to finish, have a clean win. And for me, like this, it's not clean. I try too much to go for the submission instead of, I should have, they say in boxing, they have a saying, if you go for the knockout doesn't come. It's the same thing that happened in mixed martial arts. Sometimes if you go too much for the submission doesn't come. You have to let the opportunity come. And tonight sometimes I had a position I tried to use too much because I gain a lot. I'm a lot more powerful and I'm more bigger than I was. So I try sometimes to power out some armbar, some kimura and armbar, and I forgot the technical element of it. And sometimes those little details make the difference, like the angle and the leverage, the way you're positioning. Sometimes that's what makes the finish. And tonight when I had the kimura, I made a mistake, a technical mistake that Dan already had. The armbar was not as tight as it should be. And next time it won't happen. Now I know what I did. It's never the same competitor. Let's have a fight. It's never the same guy.
Well, if it does start turning into the same guy, though, John gets another shot at you. If Koscheck gets another,
he's not the same guy that he was when I fought him the first time. He's a much better, improved version. And I'm not the same guy that I was when I fought him as well. It's going to be a different fight, and I'm going to have to think about different things, and then maybe use a different strategy. You know what I mean? So it's always a different situation. The way I fight, it's very scientific. My goal is to win. Like tonight, my goal is to win, and I didn't want to engage the battle where my opponent is the strongest. I wanted to fight him where he's the weakest. Even though I could probably have stand up with Hardy, it's mathematic. If I would have stand up with Hardy, his stand up, even though I believe my stand up is superior, but it could have been a risk because that's his main asset. If I go on the ground, I knew my ground was much better than his, so it was smarter for me to go on the ground and take the fight where he's the weakest. And that's how I fight. I want to have a long career, and I want to be champion for a long time, and I want to be the greatest. I wanted to take him out. Tonight, I wanted to take him out, and to take him out, I had to fight him where he was the weakest, but I did it, unfortunately. Tonight, for example, I keep my championship, but I didn't fight for a legacy. This fight is not going to be remembered, you know what I mean? I want to win in beautiful fashion way. I want when a guy who doesn't know nothing about mixed martial art turn his TV on and see me fight. I want him to tell his friend, I say, hey, I saw this guy fight. He was like, I didn't understand what he was doing, but the technique that he used, it was beautiful. And that's what I want the people to say when I fight. I want to attract more people into MMA. I want people being interested about mixed martial art. Absolutely. And I think if he still keep training hard and improving, we might fight in the future again. And I even told him, I said, I congratulate him because at his first title shot, he did much better than I did back then. When I fought Matt Hughes the first time, I lost. I've been submitted in the first round, if you remember that. And him, it's his first title shot, and he was there for 5 rounds. So I said to him, keep your head up, and you did much better than I did when I had my first title shot, and you're a lot better. He's a lot better than I thought he was. He has great escape on the ground, and he's a great striker, and he just maybe need to sharpen his ground a little bit, and I'm sure he's going to come back stronger the next fight. I see positive things, like, to tell you the truth, before I step into the octagon, I always make a prayer. I pray for because we all have families, we all have people that we love and that love us. So I always make a prayer to God to protect me and protect my opponent, no matter what happens. I want to win, but I don't want to. I want we both be safe after the fight. You know, nobody get really badly injured. You know, like I want to knock out or something, but I don't want nobody get really like paraplegic or like a bad injury. You know what I mean? So this a good thing about this fight is that I win and I'm okay. Dan Hardy is okay and that's all right. I'm not injured. Like my last fight, I finished. I had an injury to the adductor muscle. Now I'm going to be able to train in a couple of days. So it's going to be perfect. A martial artist for me, it's somebody that brings the mentality of martial art into his everyday life. I'm a martial artist because I have a self-discipline and I have a respect that I bring in the everyday life. What I do it, and I'm also aware I have an impact on a lot of people. So the way I behave, it's related to the fundamental basic of martial art that I've been raised with.